Entry number 42, August 4th, 2017. Well, I once again waited too long to start writing. The entries, I once again waited too long to start writing the entries, so once again, I'll have a hard time remembering all. I'm pretty sure after writing and recording the last entry, I pretty much immediately went to Washington County. The coin gods, for the second time and second day in a row, chose Milliken Way. I think I stopped off once for matches and once for a chimichanga, but this time the bar was out of matches, so I got my matches at Peterson's, as well as the chimichanga. It was much later in the day than the time previous. I only had 67 cents, so I had no money to bet at McGuffey's and had money to offer from Smokes. I thought I'd end up buying 3 Arizonas because there are actually 2 7-Elevens on the way to the mini mall, one of which I only go to if the traffic lights go a certain way on my arrival. And the traffic light selected that I do go to the other 7-Eleven that day, and I bought an Arizona there, but at the mini mall, they were out of green tea with honey and ginseng, so I had my now usual 2 after all. Nothing of great interest happened on the trip, as I recall. I did check the laundromat trash cans for clothes this time, but again found nothing. 2 days of the Milliken Way stop left me with a huge supply of snipes, which was a good thing because I'm pretty sure I arrived in P-Town too late to turn in my bottles and cans. So the next day, I pretty much immediately went to turn in my cans and bottles. But before I left the library, before I left the building, Jeff was in his office. I told him I wanted to make a couple of calls, but before I could tell him to whom, he received a call from what he was saying. It sounded like it might be Jennifer Gamble, which was one of the calls I wanted him to make. So I asked him if it was Jennifer Gamble. It was. I asked if I could speak to her when he got done. He nodded agreement. Jeff got a little impatient talking to Jennifer Gamble, but when he got done, he handed me the phone. I told Jennifer that I was disappointed that she couldn't release the psych eval to me, and asked, by the way, if the psych eval had come yet. It hadn't. She explained that I could get a copy of it, but that such was a long and involved process, and that it would be easier if I just released it to Carly. When done with that conversation, I told Jeff that took care of one of the calls I wanted to make, and next, could we please call Carly? So we did. I told Carly that since our meeting was canceled, we needed to reschedule. That turned out to be the job of the receptionist. But before she transferred me back to the receptionist, I told her some about the situation with Jennifer Gamble, etc. This time, it was Jeff's turn to ask to speak to someone on the phone. So I eventually handed the phone to him. I would eventually find out that Jeff had arranged to simply get something from Cascadia with a diagnosis on it. That leaves me with no easy access to that psych report when it comes in, and I don't know what to do about that. When Jeff got through speaking, he handed the phone back to me, and Carly transferred me to the receptionist. I told him that I preferred my appointments late in the morning, and he offered me an appointment at 11:30 a.m. the next day, to which I agreed. I then went and turned in my cans and bottles at Whole Foods. I don't remember how much I got, but it was enough to buy smokes. I think I then spent the rest of the day at the library doing something or other on the World Wide Web, and then went to Safeway at about 7:30 p.m. to buy just a few groceries. I bought a jug of milk and a huge jug of Arizona iced tea, green tea with honey and ginseng, a 2-liter of refreshing cola, and some Jewish rye bread, and 2 12-packs of Hostess cupcakes. I have 1 cupcake left. After I got home from shopping as the previous night, it went too late to start this entry. It was too late to start this entry. Yesterday, I was about a half an hour early to my appointment with Carly. We didn't discuss much, but my next appointment with her, Thursday, August 17th at 11:30 a.m., will be our last as she moves on to something else. I then returned home with plenty of time to make my 2 o'clock p.m. appointment with Scott. Even with a half an hour leeway, he didn't show. Then I went to Whole Foods to turn in my cans and get some smokes. I already had over $2, so I didn't need that many cans and bottles. On the way back, I ran into a guy who lives here at the estate. I know from my days at STP, we both used to live there. Last week, I bought him about $5 worth of food with my food stamps on agreement that he'd pay me back by next Friday, which is today. He said he'd rather pay me back with food stamps. I said I understood what he'd rather do, but I wanted the money, as we'd agreed. He said we'd agreed that he could pay me back with money or food stamps. That claim is false. I said it's no big deal to me. I just won't give you anything ever again. That ended the conversation. He may be in for a surprise. I remember Stubbs quite well. We're not quite enemies, but we are definitely not friends. I don't have friends who try to play me. I bought my smokes, then spent some time at the library doing World Wide Web stuff. I know I did some uploading and doinking around on Twitter. I came home when the library closed, but then went back out to the Starbucks on 2nd and Main to finish my uploading. I finished it just in the nick of time, as my Wi-Fi only phone was down to 1% on battery charge. My uploading done, that left me with nothing to do today but work on this journal entry, which is what I did. I have $1.47, non-existence due to great principles and containment modifying emotions. Last night I had to take off and throw away the pants I was wearing, as they were the ones with the hole in the butt, and the hole had gotten much bigger. Well, I went out last night to get the random Wikipedia article amongst other tasks, and when I got back home, it was 9:50 p.m., time for bed. So I am resuming today, Saturday the 5th. I don't remember what time I went out last night, but I'm almost certain it was before 5 o'clock p.m. I got off the Max at the Southwest 3rd and Morrison stop, because it's right next to the bar where I get matches, and the nearest stop to the Starbucks on 2nd and Main, where I intended to steal Wi-Fi. The bar was out of matches, so I had to wait for someone to go by whom I had reason to expect would have a light to smoke. I got the random Wikipedia article for this entry and wrote an email to Scott telling him he stood me up and that I was now on Twitter and asking for his Twitter handle. I think I may have also talked to MWR. For a while now, it seemed like he's been ignoring me. I would soon find out he's not getting my texts for some reason. If I did anything else at the Starbucks on 2nd and Main, I now forget it. So I then went to Whole Foods to turn in my cans and bottles to get a pack of smokes, but the machine was down for the night. On my way there, I got some meatballs in barbecue sauce and a pack of matches at the Petersons next to the library. I also shot video of a man singing and playing guitar on the way there. As I was about to light up my last smoke at Whole Foods Market, disappointed that I couldn't turn in my cans and bottles there, MWR called me on video chat. He sent me a text, which I received, but he didn't receive my reply. So now we knew what the problem was, but we still have no solution. At the last minute, I decided that Trader Joe's was worth a try, and in fact, that worked. After having a smoke and searching for cans and bottles, I took the 20 to 2nd and Burnside and bought some smokes. When I got home, it was 9:50 p.m. The guy who owes me money soon knocked on my door and gave me $4 of the $5 he owes me. I thanked him. I now have $6.04, emergency due to the beginning of a new increasing psychopathology modifying Electra. I awoke today at about 11:30 a.m. I think after relaxing, smoking, and playing some NetHack, I resumed this entry. I once again am a ranger in NetHack. I just completed the first mine level. I am a level 4 experience level 6, and I had to kill a pony at the beginning of level 4 as I had no food for it. The random Wikipedia article for this entry is a best of album called Singles by an artist named Alison Moyer. The time is 2:16 p.m. I'm about to go to Saturday Market, etc. I may have enough money to send MWR that $10 soon, but I need new headphones. Since I get most of my pleasure from fulfilling commitments these days, it sucks that I'll have to wait to get the headphones. And now for the poem for this entry. Well, of me, to go to upon entrance, today, this time, day. Been a long journey finding him, overpass, etc. Packaging, while writing this entry, of hostess treat. Now almost finished it. Didn't have time. A little backtracking is needed. So he gave me 10 cents instead of 2 cents. Fast and cut it close. Entry. Close, so I did. A message. They had the bus passes. Jennifer Gamble at 1 p.m. $7.70. Containers, but only took one. My appointment. I arrived half an hour early. Appointment. Probably tomorrow. Few cents on me. Arrested a female. She says we'll go out for coffee. End of poem.